what's going on, everybody? This is Noble, and today we're going to be doing an updated version of the Raidraptor deck profile. So I absolutely love Raidraptor, so I was super thrilled as soon as I found out that they were getting support in the form of two brand new Exceed monsters in Rise of the Duelist. And as soon as I found it, I was like, okay, I can't wait to update it. And here we are. Before we get into it, I do just want to show off this brand new playmat I have. This is Mech Knights, and the other side is Orcus. So you can't really see Purple Nightfall too well, but he's over there. He's beautiful. Paomangamats, same thing. They did this one for me too. I'll show the Orcus one and the next one because that looks really good too. But I'm going to link down in the description below where you can get them at just like this. They can do custom, anything you want. Absolutely recommend you check them out. All right. So first off, we were playing three. I apologize. I'm like really coughing. Three Raidraptor Tribute Lania. So right before I started making this video, I went ahead and checked the price on this, and so Tribute Lanius is sitting at $19. He was up to $22, and then he dropped a little bit, but he is still expensive. Just in case you're thinking about making the second one, let you know what you're getting into. This card is like pretty much a mandatory 3 of to be competitive in any nature, and it's like almost 20 bucks a piece. So that does suck. Hopefully you'll get some type of reprint soon. It'll drop. But at the moment, that's where that's at. And also, Force Tricks with the other kind of expensive one, but you can get the Ultra Rare for like $3.50 now, so that's not a big deal. If you want to bling it out at the Secret Rare, is $10, but I just want to give you guys a heads up. But Tribute Lanius is really good. What he does is during your main phase, this card was normal or special summon this turn, so if he hits the field at all, you can send one Raidraptor card from your deck to the graveyard. During your main phase 2, if this card destroyed an opponent's monster by battle this turn, you can add one rank up magic quick play spell from your deck to your hand. Also, you can't special summon monsters the rest of this turn, except, get this, Raidraptor monsters, which I'm sure you didn't see that coming. And then both effects are hard once per turn. But he's really good because as soon as he hits the field, you can really set up your graveyard. He's probably not going to stick around long enough to destroy something by battle to get that secondary effect, but if the opportunity is there, you can use it. Next up, I'm playing 3 Raidraptor Vanishing Lanius. Now, this one's really cool. He has a simple effect. I do apologize, guys. I have to keep clearing my throat. Once per turn during your main phase, if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Raidraptor monster from your hand. So, super simple effect. If he hits the field at all, you can bring out another body to go into your Exceed plays from there. Absolutely helpful. Next up, I'm playing 3 Raidraptor Fuzzy Lanius. For some reason, I really want this to be a super rare. I don't know why, but I would just love to see this as a super rare. But what Fuzzy Lanius does is if you control a Raidraptor monster other than this card, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Raidraptor Fuzzy Lanius from your deck to your hand. Excuse me. So you can straight up search something off if he's just sent to the graveyard at all, so that's really cool. And you can only use this effect of Raidraptor Fuzzy Lanius once per turn. You can't special summon monsters the turn you activate this effect except Raidraptor monsters, which is not going to be a problem in the current build that I run. We'll get into that in a little bit. We're not there yet. Next up, I'm playing 3 Raidraptor Mimicry Lanius. Now, I actually bumped this up to 3. I was playing it at 2, but I just really like what it does. It's super helpful because what it does is once per turn during your main phase, if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can increase the levels of all Raidraptor monsters you currently control by 1. During your main phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, so if you literally Foolish Burial it off of Tribute Lanius, you can banish this card and then add any Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand. So a lot of times what you're going to want to do is summon Tribute Lanius, send Mimicry Lanius to the graveyard, banish it, get that search. So it is really helpful, especially because it's any Raidraptor card. So, and then that's a hard once per turn as well. Next up, we are playing 3 Raidraptor Lastrix, arguably the most important card in this entire deck. I do wish this would get some type of hollow upgrade, but Raidraptor Lastrix is essentially a 1-card ultimate Falcon. What it does is if a Raidraptor monster you control battles, while you have any spells and traps on the field or in your graveyard, during damage calculation during either player's turn, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then you gain 100 life points for each spell and trap card you control or in your graveyard. That's so great, isn't it? Totally kidding. That's not the great effect. The great effect is the secondary one, where you contribute this card, and your opponent takes no battle damage this turn, and then you special summon one Raidraptor XYZ monster from your extra deck in defense position. Its effects are negated and return it to the extra deck during the end phase. So literally what you can do is tribute this little baby Lastrix Raidraptor monster, level 1, bring out Satellite Cannon Falcon, skip force it straight up into Ultimate Falcon. Bam, turn 1, you got an Ultimate Falcon off of this little Lastrix. Like, this is such a good card. This is why we play 1 for 1, because we want to see this Lastrix as quickly as we can. Next up, I'm playing 2 Raidraptor Painlanius. I don't remember if I was playing 2 with this one, the last one. But 2 is pretty good. It's a level 1, and it can't be used as material for Exceed Summon of a Winged Beast type monster, which is not going to be a big deal. If this card is in your hand, you can target 1 Raidraptor monster you control that has a level. Take damage equal to its attack or defense, whichever is lower, but your choice if it's tied. And a lot of them have low, like, either defense or attack, so it's not going to be an issue. And if you do that, you special summon this card, and if you do that, this card's level becomes the current level of the targeted monster. So it does help go into our Exceed plays. So you can it's just a free summon, and then you get to do some level manipulation to go into your Exceed plays from there. So it is really helpful. You could bump this down, but I use it a lot, so I like having it at 2. I'm running 1 Booster Strix. I actually really like this card. A lot of times when your opponent is finally able to like beef up their board enough to get over Ultimate Falcon or Final Fortress Falcon, because that's what they're gonna have to do. If you have this card in their hand after, like, I've literally seen my opponent take like turns trying to get their cards big enough to beat over these. And then as soon as they declare an attack, I have Booster Strix in my hand. What he does when a Raidraptor monster you control is targeted for an attack by an opponent's monster, you can banish this card from your hand and just destroy the attacking monster. And that's pretty frustrating when your opponent's been trying to spend so long getting their board big enough to beat over Ultimate Falcon or Final Fortress Falcon. So this card is actually really great to have. It's kind of gimmicky, but I like it. And then I'm playing 1 Singulanius. If you want to bump Singulanius up to 2 and get rid of the Booster Strix, I mean, you could do that. That's not a big deal at all. But what he does is he's just a level 4 easy summon. If you control a face-up Exceed monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Literally, that's all he does, and it's once per turn. But it just helps you go into our plays from there. So that's actually it. I'm not running any hand traps. If you wanted to do that, there's room. You could run Ash or something if you wanted to. I'm just not doing it at the moment. So, but I am playing, speaking of hand traps, I am playing 3 Call by the Grave because we search a ton in this deck, and you do not want to get draw locked. That would just straight up end your duel, and you don't want to get Ash. So, you know, Call by the Grave is pretty important for the most part. I'm also playing 3 Allure of Darkness. Just be wary of this. It is great because everything in this deck is dark. But be wary of what you're banishing. Just play with it a little bit, and then you'll start to understand what you can afford to banish to get that +2 off of. But this is a great card to have in case you run to a break your hand, and then just kind of help go straight, you know, delve a little deeper to go into those quick rank up plays is also really good. I'm playing 3 Cattle Call, which is such a good card. This is literally like 3 more Lastrix. Really is what this is. So it's a quick play spell. You send 1 face-up monster you control to the graveyard whose original type is Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast, excuse me. Special summon 1 monster from your extract with the same original type, but it can't attack, its effects are negated, and then destroyed in an end phase. So it literally does the same thing as Lastrix, but you can, like, it just turns more of your monsters into Lastrix. So just more ways to turbo out Ultimate Falcon or Final Fortress Falcon as well. I'm playing 1 Raidraptor Call. I think this is an underrated card. It's good. You target a Raidraptor monster you control and special summon 1 monster for the same name as that monster on the field from your hand or deck in defense position. So special summoning from the deck is one of the best effects in the entire game. And you can't special summon. You're locked into Raidraptors for the rest of the turn, special summoning, which, again, that's not a big deal at all. I'm also running 1 Raidraptor Nest. This is like a worse version of Black Whirlwind. I really wish they'd get a better card like this. Like, I wish they'd get some type of better version of this, but it's a continuous spell, and if you control 2 or more Raidraptor monsters, which you like almost always will, you can add 1 Raidraptor monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and you can only use this effect once per turn, which it is really helpful because you can really turn out the board of Raidraptors quickly. I don't know, Black Whirlwind's better to me, and I kind of wish that they'd get that type of card as well. For the rank ups, I'm playing 3 rank up Magic Skip Force. This card is so good. What this one does is you target a Raidraptor Exceed monster you control, and then special summon from your extra 1 Raidraptor monster that is 2 ranks higher than that target. By using that target's material, the special summon monster is treated as an Exceed summon, and then the materials from that monster are sent over to the new monster. And then during your main phase, except the turn when this card was sent to the graveyard, so there it does have that restriction on it, you can banish this card and one Raidraptor monster from your graveyard, then target one Raidraptor Exceed monster in your graveyard and special summon it. This card is really good. It's just a lot of advantage. Like I said, you can just use Last Tricks to bring out Satellite Cannon Falcon, use this to use Satellite Cannon Falcon's material to bring out Ultimate Falcon, and bam, there you go. You have a card that's unaffected by other card effects, 3500 beat stick, can lower the attack of the other monsters, and if your opponent doesn't have any monsters on the field, they take 1000 burn damage just because they don't have any monsters. This card is really good, and then that Banish from the graveyard is really great as well. I'm running 2 Rank Up Magic Soul Shave Force. This one's helpful. I don't use this one as much, but it is a really good contingency plan. Pretty much you pay half your life points, then you target it with Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, and you special summon it, then special summon from your deck one Exceed monster that's 2 ranks higher than that monster by using the material. So if they were able to get over your Ultimate Falcon, you can literally use this to bring out Final Fortress Falcon, and that's also unaffected by card effects while it has an Raidraptor monster's material, which is basically a beefier Ultimate Falcon. I'm also running one Rank Up Magic Revolution Force just to help go into Arsenal Falcon. So this one's cool. It's a quick play spell, and then during your turn, you can target Raidraptor monster you control and special summon from your extra one Raidraptor monster that is 1 rank higher than that target by using that target as material, which was a little awkward and wonky like in before Arsenal Falcon, so that's why I didn't run it. But now it makes sense because you can just use like Revolution Falcon Air Raid to literally go into Arsenal, so it is really helpful. As a secondary effect, where during your opponent's turn, target one Exceed monster your opponent controls with no material. You take control of that monster and then special summon from your extra one Raider monster that is 1 rank higher than that monster by using its material. So if you're playing an Exceed heavy deck, that is a really good secondary effect to have. Actually, I'd probably bump this up to 2 if I was playing another Exceed heavy deck, like Photons or Galaxies or something. I'm also running a Doom Double Force. This is also a really good contingency one. It's a quick play spell to where you target a 1 Raidraptor monster, Exceed monster, in your graveyard that was destroyed by battle and sent there this turn. You special summon it. And then you special summon from your extra Exceed monster that's twice the rank of that monster by using it as Exceed material. And as an Exceed monster, it doesn't lock you into Raidraptors, which is really cool. A lot of times you can just turbo out Infinity that way as well, which I actually took Infinity out, but if you want to put Infinity in, that is a really good card to have. You can go into him in this one. So for the last one, I'm playing 1 Monster Reborn, just because it's great. 1 Foolish Burial, and then 1 for 1, because it just helps us find Last Tricks even quicker. And then I'm only playing 2 traps. I'm playing Raidraptor Readiness. It's a great card. This turn, Raidraptor monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. And if you have a Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard. You take no damage this turn. And for the last card, I'm running 1 Raidraptor Gus. I really like this. I think it's really underrated. It's a spell speed 3 counter trap that when your opponent, when a spell or trap card is activated while you control a Raidraptor card, negate the activation and destroy that card. I think this is really cool, and it's searchable off of Mimicry as well. And I've used this card a ton. Like this, just that 1 negate and destruction can really stop a lot of your opponent's plays if they have something that like a spell or trap card really starts their engine. This is a really good card to have. If you don't want to have it, if you don't want to play it, that's fine. I honestly thought about even bumping this up to 2 and taking out the Readiness. I really like this card, but it's just kind of like a personal deck of mine. But anyway, guys, so that's it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. I love this extra deck, man. So for the Exceeds, I'm running 3 Raidraptor Force Tricks. I actually bumped this up from 2 because this is a really useful card, and you're probably going to use it more than once. I've actually resolved all 3 before in like kind of a grindier game. It's really great. It gains 500 attack and defense for each winged beast type monster you control other than this card. Also, it's 2 level 4 monsters. But bring out defense position, just a word of advice, because you're going to detach to get the search. Once per turn, you can detach material from this card, then add 1 level 4 Dark Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand, which is a lot of targets, and it really does help go into your plays from there. I'm running a Raidraptor Blade Burner Falcon. This one's cool. It has 1,000 attack defense, 2 level 4 Winged Beast type monsters if this card is an Exceed summon, and your opponent's life points are at least 3,000 higher than yours. So it's a little situational, but you can make this card gain 3,000 attack. So you can literally just use 2 level 4 monsters Exceed into this, and if you're like losing, you got a big beat stick on the field. And when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can detach any number of materials from this card and destroy exactly that number of monsters your opponent controls. So this card is literally made to kind of even out the playing field if you're in a losing situation. You can get a 4,000 attack beat stick if you smack something in the face. You can detach up to 2 materials, or as many as you have, and then pop those monsters as well. Kind of even it out a little bit. Also running a Raidraptor Blaze Falcon. I actually really like this one. It's 2 level 5 Winged Beast type monsters. This card can attack directly while it has material, and if it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it. And then also, once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, destroy as many special summon monsters from your opponent controls as possible, and then if you do, inflict 500 damage for each monster destroyed. So this is a really cool card. 1,000 attack, not much, but it can smack directly, destroy something off of the battle damage it does, and then you can wipe your opponent's special summon board, which is really cool. I'm also running a Raidraptor Revolution Falcon. This one's neat. You can detach 1 material from this card. This turn, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. At the start of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster face up, special summon a monster, that monster's attack and defense becomes 0, which is really great. If this card has a Raidraptor monster's material, it gains an additional effect where once per turn, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack of the monster had on the field. So that is really cool. That just like making your opponent's monster attack go to 0 is awesome. I'm also playing one of the brand new Raidraptor Revolution Falcon Air Raid, which has some great artwork. So you can also exceed summon this card by discarding 1 rank up magic spell and using a rank 5 or lower Raidraptor monster as exceed monster as material. And then you transfer its materials to this card. If this card is exceed summoned, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it. And if it was face up, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack the monster had on the field. So they just love destroying things and burning your opponent for it, which is really cool. If this card is in your possession, it's destroyed by an opponent's card and sent to the graveyard. Not card effect, not battled by an opponent's card and sent to the graveyard. You can special summon 1 Raidraptor Revolution Falcon from your extra deck, and if you do, attach this card to it as material. So that is a really great floating effect. Just brings it from the graveyard and attaches to Revolution Falcon as material, which is awesome. I'm also playing, like, I don't know, this might be my favorite one, man. Raidraptor Arsenal Falcon is so cool. It's 2 level 7 monsters, which is why we play the Revolution. Shoot, what's the name of it? I can't remember now. This one, the Revolution Force. I was so close. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, special summon 1 level 4 Winged Beast type monster from your deck. That's really great, okay? That's basically Force Trick on steroids. If this card has any number of Raidraptor monsters material, it can attack up to that many times during each battle phase. That is awesome. If this card is sent to the graveyard while it has a Raidraptor monster's material, you can special summon 1 Raidraptor exceed monster from your extra deck, accept another copy of this card, and then you attach this card from your graveyard to it as material. That is so freaking good. Like, that is so good, dude. This card is just an amazing card. You can detach material, it's special something straight from your deck, which is an amazing effect. You can attack as many times as it has material, and then it has a floating effect that's phenomenal, that you can literally bring out an Ultimate Falcon straight from the extra deck and have a free material just off of this card leaving the field. That is so good. I absolutely love this card. I really almost thought about playing it more, but then I have to change a few things. Not ready for that yet, but this is a great card. I do recommend you running it. I'm running 2 Raidraptor Satellite Cannon Falcon. This one is literally a Harpy's Feather Duster. So it's 2 level 8 Winged Beast type monsters. If this card is exceed summon using a Raidraptor monster's material, you can destroy all spells and trap cards your opponent controls. And your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. So literally, they get their back row blown up and they can't do anything about it, which is really great. And then during either player's turn, you detach a material from this card and target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, loses 800 attack for each Raidraptor monster in your graveyard. So this one's really cool. I can't remember which one it is, but I was playing this against my friend who has Black Wings, which is a really fun matchup, by the way. And he had the Black Wing that, like, it gains attack or whatever. I don't remember exactly what the criteria was, but it was a beefy boy. And I literally was able to beat over it because I had a lot of Raidraptors in the graveyard, so that thing just lost a lot of attack, and that was literally the only card in my entire deck that I could beat over with. So this is a really cool card. Next up, we're playing 2 Raidraptor Ultimate Falcon. I really think 2 Ultimate Falcon is necessary because you can go into 2 very easily with this deck, and it's so great. It's unaffected by other card effects. You can detach one material from this card. For the rest of this turn, all monsters your opponent controls will lose 1,000 attack. Also, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated. If this card has a Raidraptor monster as material, it gains an additional effect that once per turn during the end phase, you can make all monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack, and your opponent controls no face-up monsters, and inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. So this is absolutely like the main one in this deck. It is so good. And then I'm also running Final Fortress Falcon. He's really good as well. If he has a Raidraptor Exceed monster as material, he's also unaffected by other cards' effects. Once per turn, you detach a material from this card, then return all your banished Raidraptor monsters to your graveyard up to twice per turn. When this attacking monster destroys a monster by battle, you can banish a Raidraptor monster from your graveyard. This card can attack again in a row. So this will just bring back the things you banished off of Allure of Darkness, which is really helpful. And then for the last two, just two last tricks. I do think two last tricks is Wise Trick, excuse me. I think Wise Trick is really important. You can play it at 1, but I like playing it at 2. It's just 2 Dark Winged Beast type monsters. This card is Link Summon. You can special summon a 1 level 4 Dark Winged Beast monster from your deck in defense position, but negate its effects, and then it can't be used as a Link material. If a Raidraptor monster effect is activated, set 1 rank up magic spell directly from your deck, and if it's a quick play, it can be activated this turn. This really helps out just turbo and 2 RXC plays as well. That's actually it for the deck, guys. This was a little bit of a longer video, but I just kind of wanted to go a little more in depth about this one. This is one of my favorite decks, and like a lot of people just have been messaging me, asking me like, you know, what kind of plays you can do and stuff, but there's just a lot, so I kind of wanted to go a little more in depth over this one. I do hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too terribly long. But yeah, guys, with Arsenal Falcon and Air Raid, like they really help out. Like Arsenal Falcon is so freaking cool. Absolutely love that one. But guys, thanks for watching. If you're here and you haven't already done so, you already know what I'm about to say. Go ahead and subscribe. I would absolutely love that. If you watched this video and you liked it, give it a thumbs up. I would absolutely love that as well. I'm definitely still a smaller YouTuber, so it helps my videos circulate around a little bit more. So absolutely love that. And yeah, guys, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit the bell so you become part of the notification team so you don't miss anything. We're going to be doing a lot of things coming up, and I'm really excited about it. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.